think it's better. I think anything is better than going,
Hey.
you know, so, or maybe, yeah, because it's like playing count two. Like starting Irish Tune from County Derry, right? It's awful, it's the worst entrance ever, right? So we just cheat. You go, oh, Danny boy. You just do 1, 3, 4. So I would go 1, 1, okay? Just so that there's clarity. Plus the horns are in the basement right now and they need all the support in terms of, so just try the entrance one last time. So I'd recommend for a lot of, if it's a slow entrance that's not on 1, pretend it's on 1. And just tell the ensemble, I'm going to give you a 1 instead of a 4. And I think that might help with clarity and precision for entrance. Let's see, for the many faces of Hong, I would say only use your teeth to smile when you really need them, okay? Yeah, so most smiles should be lip smiles, okay? Unless it's something really, really special, okay? So it's kind of like animals in the jungle. Just bare your teeth when you need to, okay? Exactly. But you didn't do any tuba lips this time, which was great, okay? And just something to point out we don't need to do you see measure 65, second to last page? Dim, bum, ba, dum, off. There must be a release on count 3 of measure 65 because it was very sloppy and kind of staggered. Okay, so just put a little apostrophe in your score so that when you do that, it will release. Otherwise, I was very pleased. Very expressive, very emotive. Well done. Thank you, Hong. to give feedback to the conductors, and then we'll go over a couple of sections. So if you are comfortable making any comments about your experience with the conductors, you're welcome to do so, and any class members certainly give feedback at this time. Okay.
For one thing, don't ever buy a double thing like that, because we're all having, you're so tall, and you're so communicative. Yeah, that's what all of us were putting our stands up to make sure we could see you. And in the beginning, around 8, 9, 10 bars in, it felt like, I think I know what you were trying to do, but it felt like you were conducting legato. And I don't know if that was what you wanted or not, but it was we have staccato. So if you could just like give a, well, no, if you could just like, if we're doing what you want, just kind of nod or something to say, yeah, I know it's not on the page, but that's what I want. Because you were definitely doing something different, you communicated really well, but we weren't real sure.
In that section, there's actually both legato and staccato indications, and so sometimes you have to go with whoever needs the most help. And in rehearsal, obviously, you can say, okay, trumpets, by the way, that you are short there, even though the euphoniums have that kind of flowing line. Yeah.
And before you do a DC or something like that, if you could just kind of look at the group like, yeah, we're taking it, or something. Because I think people were not real 100% sure. But you're wonderful. You can follow.
Other comments? Yeah, Kale?
I think you do a really great job of showing what the priority is in the ensemble, because there's so much going on. To pick one thing and really focus on it, I think helped a lot.
Any comments for Paul?
You were great with, like you were really into it, which is really good. In your facial gestures and whatnot. Sometimes I thought the beat got a little lost in some of the gestures that you were doing. So make sure to keep on, or it got off just a couple of times. But great job.
Man.
I thought your communication just with like everyone in the ensemble was really clear, like who you were communicating with, and I really liked all of your melodies. I think it showed the phrases really well. And just like a question for you, are you thinking about your hands at all while you're up there? 'Cause it seems like you're not. It seems like it's all just like in your mind and you know what you want to hear and your hands just kind of do whatever and you're not even thinking about it.
I'm not thinking about hand. Sometimes I may all beat, I don't know.
Yeah, no, there's a real sense of musicality. You feel like you know what he wants you to do with the music, and it's clearly in here and in here too. I think that was the first thing I noted, was that he knows what he wants. He knows this music, right? So he wasn't too concerned with the score. I thought that was quite excellent. I do want you to be careful about centering yourself. There are occasionally moments where you did a little soft shoe routine, and so just make sure, for the most part, especially for a nice British march that was written at the height of the empire. Yes, it was very controlled, like tea time at 4, right? Okay, and even though it was the Romantic era, he was not writing in a romantic style, especially for this piece. Your baton color, I need to get picky, probably should be white because of the wall behind you. I was losing a little bit. So kind of, it's like, all of a sudden kind of disappears at times. And occasionally you have, remember, we've talked about before about the, kind of the power of the mouth to transmit stress or to really distract, whether you're kind of buffing rhythms or if you're contorting it in some way for people that are mostly using their mouths to play their instruments, it can become stressful and you can actually end up causing people to mimic you and cause various stress for them. So you have a lip purse, and it's usually associated with tubas. So beep, bop, beep, I was getting those little kind of protruding lips. So be careful about how much you use those. I don't know if it bothers you guys at all. Maybe it feels very affirmed. I don't know, but just be aware of that. Also, I really like the small pattern. This is not a big drum majory piece, right? It's clearly in this little box right here, and I think the control was quite good. I'd like to see a couple things. Can we just do the opening, please? Just the opening until the first string starts. Kind of like, it's like going up the creaky staircase, you're past curfew, your parents are asleep. Okay, so as you show them the melt, that decrescendo, which I agree, I don't think they necessarily, they might need a little bit of a pulse, maybe, but they definitely need the draw in. But I think that match it with the face. Okay, don't go. Okay. Was that different for you as players?
Yeah.
Okay, so they tend to respond to faces really, really well. Now, how about the very last two notes? Pa, pa. Just the coda, the three-measure coda. Okay, so there are two questions. One is, what do you want to happen to the long note? Does it grow, shrink, or stay the same? What do you want to have happen to the final note? Is it short, medium, long, wedged, tapered, popped? Okay, so there are two bits of information they desperately need, including where the end of the last note is. So maybe three pieces of information. Right, and there might be another way to show, you want some growth? Okay, so what's another way to show growth other than up elevator? Yeah, how about expanding and face, right? Right. Then you have to be careful about giving a downbeat when you're out of your prep position, because now you're kind of in eagle. That's harder. So you might want to think of expanding, and then when you are giving the prep for the last note, come back into your prep position. So you can give them that note, kind of more in the center than out here. Just see if that helps them. Better? Worse? Same? Better? Okay. All right. Yeah. You want to do the Just do the opening and take the coda. Okay? So this is the DC. Thing is, I think for the staccato, just have them play like B flat quarter notes for you for a second. There's stop staccato, right? But there's also staccato that has a little bit of a fizz at the end, right? A little bit of a rebound, and that's created by the wrist and a little bit of elbow movement. Okay, so you were doing a pretty stopped. You might just consider a little more sprightly staccato. Just have them play like B flat quarter notes or B flat staccato eighth notes. Da da. And then see if there's a difference in the sound if you did the choppy one. Okay. It's subtle, but I think there is a difference. I think they tend to be more abrupt, if you stop. But if they see this, they let it go pa, 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 a little more relaxed and freer. And then why don't you do quarter notes with them and just mix it up. So regular, legato, staccato, accent, loud, soft. They have to respond to you. ensembles just to get them sensitized to what you do. And remember that we always do, we have to change our communication while they're playing in the old way. So if you gave them a legato, they're going to play legato, but if you want the next one to be staccato, you conduct a staccato while they're playing legato, which is, it's disconcerting at first to be conducting something short while they're playing something long, but what you're doing is kind of forecasting what's coming up. Okay? Otherwise, really, really well done. Thank you, Han. Well done.
Thank you.